People often say, fate is fixed. You cannot escape it. When life becomes heavy, this sentence feels like a stone on the chest. It makes you believe you are trapped. It makes you stop trying. It makes you look for a fortune teller instead of looking at your own mind. But the Buddha taught something different. He did not teach a fixed destiny. He taught causes and conditions. He taught that what you call fate is often the momentum of past causes meeting present conditions. And he taught that present causes can change the direction of the future. So tonight, we will speak about a famous saying many people repeat. Virtue overcomes fate. Not as comfort, not as superstition, as the practical truth of karma. Because what you call fate is not a god deciding your life. It is a stream of causes. And virtue is a powerful cause. Virtue does not mean being weak. Virtue means living with integrity, speaking truth, refusing to harm, choosing compassion, training the mind. And when virtue becomes steady, the mind changes. When the mind changes, your choices change. When your choices change, your life changes. This does not mean you will get everything you want. The Buddha did not promise that. It means something deeper. Even when life is uncertain, your heart can become unshaken. Even when conditions are difficult, your mind can remain clean. Even when fortune rises and falls, your dignity can remain. If you stay with this talk, you may discover a quiet power. The power to stop blaming fate and start planting causes. The power to turn suffering into practice. The power to walk forward with a heart that becomes brighter each day. Welcome to this journey. Welcome, dear friends, to Buddha, Peaceful Mind. If you have ever felt trapped by circumstances, if you have ever wondered whether your life can truly change, let this teaching meet you gently. The Buddha taught that life is shaped by karma. Karma means action. Action of body, speech, and mind. And the Buddha emphasized intention, because intention is the seed. When intention is unwholesome, greed, hatred, and delusion, the mind becomes darker. When intention is wholesome, generosity, kindness, and wisdom, the mind becomes brighter. This is why virtue matters. Virtue is not decoration. Virtue is the training of intention, speech, and action in wholesome directions. But we must speak clearly. Virtue is not a bargain with the universe. It is not a guarantee of wealth. It is not a promise that nothing painful will happen. The Buddha taught impermanence. Bodies change. Money changes. Relationships change. Health changes. The whole world changes. So what does virtue overcome? Virtue overcomes the tyranny of the mind. It overcomes the inner slavery of greed, anger, and confusion. It overcomes the habit of creating a second arrow of suffering. It overcomes the fear that says, I am doomed. It overcomes the pride that says, I am special. Virtue does not always change the weather outside. It changes the climate inside. And when the climate inside changes, you respond differently to the weather. That different response changes your life. This is the Buddha's realism. Many people confuse fate with fixed destiny. They imagine that a script was written before they were born. They imagine that no matter what they do, the outcome will be the same. The Buddha did not teach that. He taught dependent arising. Everything happens because conditions come together. If conditions change, results change. A flower depends on rain, sunlight, earth, and time. If you remove conditions, the flower cannot grow. If you add conditions, the flower can bloom. Your life is like this. Your habits are conditions. Your friends are conditions. Your speech is a condition. Your daily attention is a condition. Your ethics are conditions. Your reactions are conditions. If you change conditions, you change outcomes. Not instantly, not perfectly, but steadily. So when people say, fate is fixed, the Buddha would ask, what are you doing today? What are you feeding your mind today? What seeds are you planting today? Because today is where the future is created. Now let us define virtue in the Buddha's way. Virtue begins with harmlessness, not harming living beings, not stealing what is not given, not using sexuality to exploit, not lying, not intoxicating the mind in ways that lead to carelessness. These are the 5 precepts. They are not punishments, they are protections. When you live by them, the mind becomes lighter, sleep becomes easier, trust grows, relationships become safer, meditation becomes possible. Virtue also includes positive qualities: generosity, patience, gratitude, humility, right speech, right livelihood, mindfulness, compassion, wisdom. So virtue is not only what you avoid, it is what you cultivate. Virtue is the soil, merit is the momentum, wisdom is the light. Together, they change a life. This is what we mean when we say virtue overcomes fate. There is a common misunderstanding that we should correct with compassion. Some people hear about karma and virtue and begin to judge others. They look at someone who is poor and say, they must have bad karma. They look at someone who is sick and say, they must deserve it. They look at someone who is suffering and say, it is their fate. This is not the Buddha's teaching. This is the ego using karma as a weapon. The Buddha taught compassion. He taught that no one can see the full web of causes. A single event has many conditions: biology, environment, society, the choices of others, and the simple truth of impermanence. So we do not use virtue to feel superior. We use virtue to become kinder. We do not use karma to blame people. We use karma to take responsibility for our own mind. If virtue makes you colder, it has been misunderstood. If virtue makes you gentler, it has been understood. Now let us explore the sentence, virtue overcomes fate, in a careful and deep way. We will look at 3 layers. The first layer is external conditions. Virtue can improve many external conditions over time because people trust virtuous people. A truthful person builds trust. A generous person builds connection. A patient person creates fewer enemies. An ethical person avoids many consequences that destroy stability. This is practical and ordinary, not mystical. The second layer is inner conditions. Virtue changes the nervous system. It changes the way the body feels. It changes the way the mind responds. A virtuous person has fewer regrets, fewer secrets, fewer inner wars. So even if life is difficult, they have more inner strength. The third layer is liberation. The Buddha taught that the highest victory is the victory over the mind that clings. When the mind no longer clings, suffering ends at the root. This is beyond worldly fortune. It is the peace of a heart that is unshaken. So virtue overcomes fate most deeply by overcoming bondage. Bondage to craving, bondage to hatred, bondage to delusion, bondage to the second arrow. Let us begin with a story about poverty and dignity. Because many people think virtue is only for those with comfort. There was a man who grew up with very little. He worked hard, but life was unstable. Sometimes he ate well, sometimes he did not. He could have become bitter. He could have become dishonest. He could have stolen. But he chose a different path. He chose honesty. He chose to help neighbors when he could. He chose to speak gently even when stressed. He chose to refuse shame and refuse cruelty. Years passed. Not all his problems disappeared, but something changed. People trusted him. When an opportunity appeared, someone recommended him. When he needed help, people were willing. When he made a mistake, people forgave more easily because they knew his character. His life became steadier, not by magic, but by trust. His mind became steadier, not by luck, but by self-respect. This is one way virtue changes fate. It changes your social reality through trust, and it changes your inner reality through dignity. Now let us tell another story. A story about wealth and collapse. Because people also misunderstand fortune. A woman inherited a comfortable life. She had money, status, and protection. But she was arrogant. She lied easily. She used people. She spoke harshly. She believed consequences would never reach her. At first, nothing seemed to happen. She thought she was untouchable. But over time, trust eroded. Friends became cautious. Employees became resentful. Partners withdrew. Opportunities dried up because her reputation followed her. And inside, her mind became restless. She feared being exposed. She feared losing control. She slept poorly. Her fortune did not collapse only from outside. It collapsed from inside. Because an unvirtuous mind creates fear, and fear creates bad decisions. Bad decisions create real consequences. This is not heaven punishing. This is cause and effect. So virtue is not only for the poor. Virtue is the only stable foundation for anyone. Now let us address a delicate point. People often expect virtue to produce quick rewards. They do a good deed and wait for life to pay them back. When life does not pay immediately, they feel cheated. They feel, I did good. Why am I still suffering? The Buddha taught patience with causes. Seeds do not become fruit overnight. Conditions must mature. Sometimes a wholesome seed ripens quickly. You speak kindly and a conflict softens. You apologize and the heart relaxes. You stop lying and sleep becomes easier. Sometimes a wholesome seed ripens slowly. Trust builds over years. A skill develops over months. A habit changes over time. A relationship heals gradually. And sometimes results are mixed, because life has many conditions. Your goodness is one condition, but not the only condition. So do not practice virtue like a transaction. Practice virtue like a path. Virtue is valuable even before rewards appear, because virtue protects the heart now. The Buddha taught the 8 worldly winds: gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disrepute, pleasure and pain. These winds blow through every life. No one escapes them. Even the virtuous person experiences loss. Even the wise person experiences pain. So what changes with virtue? Not the existence of winds, but your relationship to them. A mind without virtue becomes intoxicated by gain and crushed by loss. A mind with virtue is steadier. Gain comes, it does not become arrogance. Loss comes, it does not become despair. Praise comes, it does not become addiction. Blame comes, it does not become hatred. Pleasure comes, it does not become clinging. Pain comes, it does not become inner war. This steadiness is not a personality trait, it is trained. And that training is virtue and wisdom. This is the deeper meaning of overcoming fate. You overcome the winds by not being thrown around. If this teaching is helping you feel stronger inside, you may choose to stay close to Buddha Peaceful Mind. A gentle subscribe is like keeping a small lamp nearby for days when the mind forgets and needs to return. Now let us bring in the Buddha's central map, the 4 Noble Truths, because it shows how virtue truly changes destiny. First, there is suffering. Suffering is not only obvious pain, it is the subtle dissatisfaction that follows us when we cling. It is the tension of wanting life to obey us. It is the fear that what we love will change. Second, there is a cause of suffering: craving and ignorance. Craving says, I need this to be okay. Ignorance says, this will last, this is me, this is mine. Third, there is the end of suffering. When craving is understood and released, freedom appears. Life is still changing, but the heart stops fighting it. Fourth, there is a path, the Noble Eightfold Path. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Virtue is woven into this entire path. Right speech is virtue. Right action is virtue. Right livelihood is virtue. Right intention is virtue. And these support mindfulness and concentration, which support wisdom. So the Buddha's teaching is not, hope your fate improves. It is, walk the path. When you walk the path, suffering decreases. When suffering decreases, life becomes freer. This is real transformation. Now let us speak about merit, because many people hear virtue and think only of moral rules. Merit in Buddhism is wholesome momentum. It is the inner strength created by generous, honest, and compassionate actions. Merit is not a bribe to the universe. It is the natural fruit of causes. A generous mind becomes less fearful. A truthful mind becomes less tangled. A restrained mind becomes less chaotic. A compassionate mind becomes warmer. These inner changes produce outer effects over time. Trust grows. Relationships improve. Opportunities appear. Conflicts decrease. Health can improve when stress decreases. Life becomes more workable. Not guaranteed, not perfect, but often true. So merit is like a river current. If you swim with it, you move more easily. If you swim against it, you tire quickly. Virtue creates a helpful current. Now let us talk about right speech, because right speech is one of the fastest ways to change your life. Many people want to change fate, but they keep poisoning their life with words. They gossip, they exaggerate, they shame, they lie, they speak harshly, they complain all day. Then they wonder why they feel heavy and why relationships break. The Buddha taught right speech, truthful, kind, helpful, timely. Before speaking, ask 4 gentle questions. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Is this the right time? This is not perfection. It is training. A single sentence can build trust for years. A single sentence can destroy it. So if you want to change destiny, clean the mouth. A clean mouth creates a cleaner mind. A cleaner mind creates a cleaner life. This is virtue in daily form. There is a story about words and feathers that many teachers share. A young man became angry and spoke cruel words to his friend. Later, he regretted it and apologized. The friend accepted the apology, but said, "The words still hurt." The friend showed him a pillow. He asked him to cut it open and scatter the feathers in the wind. The young man did it. Then the friend said, "Now gather all the feathers back." It was impossible. The lesson is simple. Some words cannot be fully taken back. So pause before speaking. Speak as if your words are seeds, because they are. This story is not to make you afraid. It is to make you mindful. Mindfulness prevents regret, and preventing regret is a beautiful form of karma. Now let us talk about patience, because patience is a virtue that protects you from many disasters. Most harm happens when the mind is hot. When anger is present, the tongue becomes sharp, the hands become reckless, the mind becomes blind. Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength. It is the ability to feel discomfort without spreading it. The Buddha praised patience. He taught that patience protects you more than a shield, because a patient person avoids many fights, avoids many regrets, avoids many enemies, avoids many broken relationships. So if you want to change fate, train patience, not as suppression, but as awareness. When irritation arises, pause for 3 breaths. Name it. Irritation is here. Feel it in the body. Then choose a wise response. This is how a hot mind becomes a wise mind. Now let us talk about generosity, because generosity is one of the fastest ways to loosen suffering. A greedy mind is a fearful mind. It believes there is never enough. It clings and tightens. It compares and competes. It feels threatened. A generous mind relaxes. It trusts that sharing is possible. It feels connection. It feels warmth. The Buddha praised generosity because it breaks the prison of the self. It reminds you that you are not separate. Others exist. Others suffer. Others need support. Even small generosity changes the heart. A sincere thank you, a small gift, a helping hand, a patient listening ear, a donation if you can, a respectful silence when someone is in pain. This is not buying good fate. It is training the heart toward freedom. And a freer heart makes wiser choices. This is virtue becoming destiny. There is a story about a poor woman offering a lamp. She had almost nothing, but she wanted to offer something with sincerity. She bought a tiny amount of oil and lit a small lamp. That night, wind blew and many lamps went out. Her small lamp remained burning. People were surprised. They asked why. The teaching is simple. Sincere intention has power. Not magical power, inner power. A sincere act strengthens the mind. A strengthened mind becomes steadier. A steadier mind makes better choices. Better choices change life. Do not underestimate small goodness. Now let us talk about humility, because humility protects virtue from becoming pride. Sometimes a person practices virtue and begins to think they are better. They say, "I am pure, others are low." They say, "My virtue proves I am chosen." This is not virtue. This is ego wearing a robe. The Buddha taught humility. Humility is not thinking you are worthless. Humility is seeing clearly. You have strengths and you have blind spots. You have kindness and you have impatience. You have wisdom in one area and ignorance in another. Humility keeps the heart soft, and a soft heart is safe. A soft heart learns. A soft heart forgives. A soft heart does not harm. So if virtue makes you proud, return to humility. Return to the breath. Return to service. Help quietly. Pride dissolves in quiet service. This is a higher virtue. Now let us address the modern language of energy and frequency. Some people say, when your energy changes, your destiny changes. This can be true if we translate it wisely. Your energy is your attention and intention. If your mind is impatient, your life becomes rushed. If your mind is resentful, your life becomes bitter. If your mind is anxious, your life becomes tight. If your mind is grateful, your life becomes lighter. If your mind is compassionate, your life becomes warmer. So yes, when the inner climate changes, outer life often changes too. But the Buddha did not teach magic. He taught training. So do not chase a special vibration. Train virtue. Train mindfulness. Train wisdom. Then your energy becomes stable, not dramatic. And stable energy is what changes a life. This is the middle way. Now let us speak about injustice, because this topic can be misunderstood. Some people use karma and virtue to silence others. They say, accept abuse, it is your karma. They say, do not act, it is fate. This is not the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha taught compassion and action. He taught that you can act firmly without hatred. You can protect victims. You can set boundaries. You can leave harmful situations. You can speak truth. You can resist cruelty without becoming cruel. Virtue does not mean being passive. Virtue means acting from clean intention. If you fight injustice with hatred, you plant hatred in your own mind. Hatred may win a moment, but it burns you long after. If you fight injustice with clarity and compassion, you can be strong without becoming what you oppose. This is difficult, so begin with small steps. Speak respectfully. Support good causes. Protect those you can. Do not add humiliation. Do not dehumanize. Keep your heart clean while your hands act. This is virtue changing the world. Now let us talk about right livelihood, because fate is often shaped by the way we earn. The Buddha taught that work is part of the path. If you earn by harming others, the mind becomes heavy. Fear and guilt appear. You may gain money and lose peace. Right livelihood means earning without causing harm. It means choosing integrity, even when it is inconvenient. Not everyone can change jobs quickly. The Buddha understood conditions. So begin with what is possible. Be honest in your role. Do not cheat. Do not exploit. Do not deceive customers. Do not abuse people below you. Do not poison your mind with cruelty. Then, if you can shift toward a healthier livelihood, do so step by step. A clean livelihood makes the mind safer at night, and a mind that feels safe can meditate. This is karmic momentum toward freedom. Now let us bring in the teaching of the salt in water, because it shows how virtue changes suffering. Imagine a handful of salt. If you put it in a small cup of water, the water becomes too salty to drink. But if you put the same salt in a large lake, the lake is still drinkable. The salt is the same. The difference is the size of the container. The salt is pain. The cup is a narrow heart. The lake is a wide heart. When the heart is narrow, a small insult ruins the day. A small mistake becomes shame. A small delay becomes anger. A small fear becomes panic. When the heart becomes wide through virtue, mindfulness, and compassion, the same events do not poison the whole mind. You still feel pain, but you do not drown. This is the deepest way virtue overcomes fate. You grow the lake. You become less easily poisoned by life. How do you grow the lake? Through daily practice. A daily act of generosity. A daily restraint from harsh speech. A daily pause before reacting. A daily reflection on your actions. A daily meditation, even short. A daily moment of gratitude. A daily act of forgiveness, even small. These are not small things. They are the building blocks of destiny. Because destiny is not one big event. It is thousands of repeated moments. When you repeat virtue, virtue becomes your default. And when virtue becomes default, fate changes. Now let us talk about repentance, because many people carry guilt and think virtue is impossible for them. The Buddha did not teach endless self-punishment. He taught confession, restraint, repair, and renewed effort. Then you begin again. If you harmed someone, acknowledge it. If you can repair, repair. If you can apologize, apologize. If you cannot reach them, repair through your life. Protect others from the harm you once caused. Support causes that reduce similar harm. Choose kindness where you once chose cruelty. This is real repentance, not bargaining, not fear. Transformation. A mind without secrets is a peaceful mind. So do not hide from yourself. Be honest. Then begin again. Virtue begins again each day. There is a story about a cracked pot. A water carrier had two pots. One was perfect. One had a crack and arrived with less water. The cracked pot felt ashamed and apologized. The carrier said, "Look at the path on your side. Because you leaked water each day, flowers grew there. I planted seeds, and your crack watered them." The lesson is not that suffering is good. The lesson is that imperfection can still serve goodness. Pain can become compassion. Mistakes can become humility. Wounds can become kindness. This is virtue born from experience. And this virtue can transform destiny. Now let us speak about fear of fate, because fear itself becomes a destiny. When the mind believes, "I am doomed," it stops trying. It avoids responsibility. It becomes passive or desperate. It makes poor choices. Then it creates the very suffering it fears. This is a karmic loop. Virtue breaks this loop. Virtue says, I may not control everything, but I can control my intention. I can choose honesty. I can choose kindness. I can choose restraint. I can choose mindfulness. I can choose the next wholesome step. This choice is power. Not power over others, power over your own mind. The Buddha taught that victory over the mind is the greatest victory, because it cannot be taken away by external conditions. Now let us include a longer practice, because this teaching must be tasted. Sit comfortably. Let the body be supported. Let the shoulders soften. Let the jaw relax. Bring attention to the breath. Breathing in, know you are breathing in. Breathing out, know you are breathing out. Now bring to mind one worry about your future, a fear about money, a fear about love, a fear about health, a fear about family. Notice what the mind does. It tries to predict. It tries to control. It creates stories. Instead of following stories, return to sensation. Where do you feel fear in the body? Tightness in the chest, pressure in the belly, heat in the face, heaviness in the shoulders. Let it be known. Now say inside, this is a condition. It arises. It passes. It is not my permanent self. Now ask one question. What is the most wholesome next step? Not the biggest step, the next step. Maybe it is one honest message. Maybe it is one small act of generosity. Maybe it is rest. Maybe it is asking for help. Maybe it is a boundary. Maybe it is a plan written calmly. Maybe it is forgiveness. Choose one. Hold it gently, then return to breath. This is the Buddha's path, not predicting fate, planting causes, again and again. If this practice is helping you, a gentle like supports the sharing of Dharma through Buddha Peaceful Mind. It helps more hearts find a calmer way to live. Thank you. Now let us speak about the phrase, do not chase fortune tellers, chase your own heart. This is not disrespect toward anyone. It is a reminder of where real power is. If you believe a fortune teller more than your own actions, you become weak. You become passive. You become anxious. The Buddha taught self-reliance. He said, be a lamp to yourself. He did not mean isolation. He meant responsibility. Ask yourself each day, is my mind leaning toward greed or generosity? Toward hatred or kindness? Toward delusion or wisdom? This is a better question than, is today lucky or unlucky? Because your mind can turn an unlucky day into a wise day, and your mind can turn a lucky day into a foolish day. So keep returning to the heart. The heart is where destiny is planted. Now let us clarify the difference between virtue and people-pleasing. Some people think virtue means never saying no. They think virtue means accepting harm. They think virtue means being soft in a way that allows exploitation. The Buddha did not teach that. Wisdom includes boundaries. A virtuous person can say no. A virtuous person can leave. A virtuous person can protect themselves and others. The difference is the intention. A boundary built with hatred plants hatred. A boundary built with clarity plants peace. So practice boundaries without humiliation. Practice firmness without cruelty. This is high virtue. It protects and it purifies. And this is how you avoid becoming a victim while still keeping a clean heart. Now let us speak about daily habits, because daily habits are the real fate. People think fate is a big, mysterious force. But often, fate is just repetition. Wake up and complain. Repeat. Speak harshly. Repeat. Scroll endlessly. Repeat. Lie to avoid discomfort. Repeat. Avoid responsibility. Repeat. Then life becomes heavy. This heavy life is not a curse. It is repetition made into a world. Now change repetition. Wake up and breathe. Repeat. Speak kindly. Repeat. Work honestly. Repeat. Rest when needed. Repeat. Meditate a little. Repeat. Help someone. Repeat. Over time, the whole world changes because the mind changes. The mind becomes the world. This is karma in daily life, and virtue is choosing a new repetition. The Buddha taught the power of wise friendship. Who you spend time with shapes your destiny. If you spend time with people who love gossip, the mind becomes restless. If you spend time with people who love cruelty, the heart becomes hard. If you spend time with people who love intoxication, the mind becomes cloudy. If you spend time with people who love practice, the mind becomes steadier. If you spend time with people who love kindness, the heart becomes softer. So if you want to change fate, choose wise friends. And if you do not have them yet, begin by becoming one. Be the person who speaks gently. Be the person who listens. Be the person who keeps promises. Be the person who does not add poison. Wise friendship is a great virtue, and it is a powerful condition for transformation. Now let us speak about the ultimate meaning of virtue overcomes fate. The Buddha taught liberation. Liberation means the end of clinging. When the mind clings, even good fortune becomes fear. You fear losing it. When the mind clings, even pleasure becomes hunger. You need more. When the mind clings, even love becomes anxiety. You fear abandonment. When the mind clings, even success becomes stress. You fear failure. So the deepest fate is not money and status. The deepest fate is the mind's habit of clinging. Virtue weakens clinging. Generosity weakens greed. Kindness weakens hatred. Wisdom weakens delusion. Mindfulness weakens automatic reaction. As clinging weakens, freedom grows. This is the highest destiny. A heart that is unshaken, a mind that is clean, a life that reduces suffering. Now let us end with a practical plan for 7 days, because wisdom must become action. For 7 days, choose one virtue each day to highlight. One day, train speech. No gossip, less complaining, more truth, more gentleness. One day, train generosity. Give something small. Time, attention, help, money if you can. One day, train patience. When irritation arises, pause for 3 breaths before speaking. One day, train mindfulness. Sit for 5 minutes and return to breath whenever the mind wanders. One day, train gratitude. Name 3 blessings and let gratitude soften the body. One day, train forgiveness. Release one resentment for 1 hour. Notice the relief. One day, train simplicity. Reduce stimulation. Spend time in silence or nature. Let the mind rest. If you do this, do not demand perfection. Just notice. The mind becomes lighter. The body becomes calmer. Regret decreases. Peace increases. This is transformation. If you would like more talks like this, you can subscribe to Buddha Peaceful Mind. It is a quiet way to keep these reminders close, especially on days when you feel trapped by circumstances. Now let us offer a closing meditation and blessing. Sit comfortably. Feel the breath. Breathing in, I return. Breathing out, I soften. Now bring to mind one virtue you want to strengthen. Honesty, compassion, patience, generosity, courage, humility. Say inside, I will water this seed today. Now choose one small action you will do because of this virtue. One message of gratitude, one apology, one act of service, one boundary without hatred, one mindful pause before reacting. Hold that action gently, then return to breath. Breathing in, I choose the wholesome step. Breathing out, I release what I cannot control. Now offer loving kindness. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I be free. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free. May those who are trapped in fear find steadiness. May those who are trapped in anger find clarity. May those who are trapped in greed find contentment. May those who are trapped in shame find forgiveness. May those who are suffering find support. Rest for a few breaths. This is the path. Now let us go deeper, because many people hear the phrase, virtue overcomes fate, and imagine only external success. They imagine that if they become good, life will reward them with money, romance, and smooth roads. When smooth roads do not appear, they feel discouraged. So we must ask a more honest question. What did the Buddha actually promise? He promised that wholesome causes lead toward well-being, and unwholesome causes lead toward suffering. But he also taught that results depend on many conditions. A person may be virtuous and still meet illness because the body is conditioned. A person may be virtuous and still meet loss because impermanence touches all beings. A person may be virtuous and still meet injustice because society is not always fair. So the Buddha did not promise perfect weather. He promised a path that makes the heart strong enough to walk in any weather. This strength is a form of victory. A mind trained in virtue can meet sickness with less panic. It can meet loss with less hatred. It can meet criticism with less collapse. It can meet uncertainty with more courage. It can meet hardship without becoming cruel. This is why the Buddha praised inner wealth, because outer wealth is uncertain. Inner wealth can be cultivated and carried. So when you hear virtue overcomes fate, hear it like this. Virtue overcomes the fate of being controlled by conditions. It makes you less a prisoner, more a practitioner. The Buddha often taught that the mind becomes what it repeatedly practices. If you practice anger, anger becomes your default. If you practice gossip, gossip becomes your default. If you practice dishonesty, dishonesty becomes your default. If you practice generosity, generosity becomes your default. If you practice patience, patience becomes your default. If you practice mindfulness, mindfulness becomes your refuge. So fate is not only what happens to you, fate is also what you become. Many people do not realize this. They think fate is an external story, a sequence of events. But the Buddha invited you to notice the inner story, the story of habits. A person can have the same external life as someone else and still experience it differently because the mind is different. One person has a mind of gratitude and the day feels lighter. Another person has a mind of complaint and the day feels heavier. The weather outside is the same. The weather inside is different. Virtue is the training that changes the inner weather. And when inner weather changes, outer life often changes too, because your choices become wiser. This is not magic, it is psychology and karma together. Now let us speak about the phrase, virtue is the spring and fortune is the lake. Imagine fortune as water stored in a lake. You can enjoy it for a time. You can drink, you can irrigate, you can rest beside it. But if the spring stops, the lake will eventually dry. Even a large lake will shrink. Virtue is the spring. Virtue keeps flowing. Each wholesome action is fresh water. Each honest sentence is fresh water. Each act of restraint is fresh water. Each act of generosity is fresh water. Each moment of mindfulness is fresh water. So a person with virtue may lose money and still remain steady. They can rebuild. They can begin again. They can keep their dignity because their spring still flows. A person without virtue may have fortune for a time, but the spring is blocked. Fear, greed, lies, cruelty, and pride block the spring. Then even if there is a lake, it becomes dirty. Relationships become unsafe. Sleep becomes restless. Life becomes anxious. Then the lake shrinks. This is why the Buddha praised the wealth of virtue above the wealth of possessions, because virtue sustains. Now let us speak about the 3 wholesome roots that make the spring flow. The Buddha pointed to greed, hatred, and delusion as unwholesome roots. They create painful karma. They create inner heat. They create confusion. They create regret. He also pointed to wholesome roots: non-greed, generosity; non-hatred, loving kindness; non-delusion, wisdom. If you want a simple formula for changing destiny, it is this: water generosity, water loving kindness, water wisdom. Generosity loosens the fist. Loving kindness softens the heart. Wisdom clears confusion. When these 3 grow, your life becomes less dominated by fear and craving, and a less fearful life is a freer life. Now let us explore a common objection. Someone may say, I know people who are dishonest and still successful. I know people who are kind and still struggling. So does virtue really matter? The Buddha would ask, what do you mean by success? Do you mean money and status? Or do you mean peace of mind? A dishonest person may gain money, but the mind often pays a price. Fear of exposure, fear of loss, fear of betrayal, restlessness, suspicion, a heart that cannot fully relax. A kind person may struggle externally, but can have an inner stability that is priceless. A clean conscience, trust from others, a mind that can sleep, a heart that can love without constant fear. And even in external life, dishonest success is unstable. It depends on deception. Deception creates enemies. Enemies create danger. Sooner or later, conditions shift. The Buddha did not deny that worldly fortune can come to anyone. He taught that the only reliable refuge is the training of the mind. Because the mind is what you carry in every condition. So yes, virtue matters. It matters first because it changes your inner life. And it matters second because it shapes your outer life over time, through trust and wise choices. There is a story that shows the difference between outer fortune and inner wealth. A man spent his life chasing status. He worked long hours. He climbed. He competed. He won. But he could not sleep. His mind always feared losing. He was always checking, comparing, defending. Even on vacation, his mind was at work. One day, he met an old gardener. The gardener had little, but he smiled easily. He worked steadily. He was kind to neighbors. He slept deeply. The man asked, "How can you be so calm?" The gardener said, "I do not build my identity on things that can be taken away." This is the heart of virtue. You build your life on what cannot be stolen. Honesty, kindness, patience, wisdom. These can be damaged only if you abandon them. The Buddha taught that this is true security. Now let us bring virtue into the body, because virtue is not only philosophy, it is a nervous system. When you lie, the body tightens, breath becomes shallow, the belly contracts, the mind becomes alert in a fearful way. You are guarding secrets. When you act cruelly, the body becomes hot, the heart races, the jaw clenches, sleep becomes disturbed. Even if you pretend to be fine, the nervous system remembers. When you act generously, the body often relaxes, breath deepens, the face softens, the heart feels warm, the mind feels open. When you act honestly, the body feels cleaner. There is less inner tension, less split. This is karma in the body. This is why virtue is not only moral, it is therapeutic. It heals the system. So when you practice virtue, you are not only becoming good, you are becoming regulated. A regulated body supports a wise mind. A wise mind supports a better life. Now let us talk about forgiveness in the context of virtue, because many people think forgiveness is weakness. Forgiveness in Buddhism is not pretending harm was acceptable. Forgiveness is refusing to keep drinking poison. You can forgive and still set boundaries. You can forgive and still leave. You can forgive and still protect others. Forgiveness means you stop carrying hatred inside. It does not mean you allow harm to continue. There is a short story about gifts that teaches this. A man came to insult a wise monk. He spoke harshly, trying to provoke anger. The monk listened quietly. The man asked, "Why are you not reacting?" The monk asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man said, "It belongs to the one who offered it." The monk said, In the same way, I do not accept your anger. It remains with you. This story is not about being passive. It is about refusing poison. When you refuse poison, your destiny changes because you no longer waste your life on inner war. Now let us speak about gratitude, because gratitude is a powerful virtue that many people overlook. Gratitude does not mean life is perfect. Gratitude means you see what is still here. When the mind is always scanning for what is missing, it becomes anxious. When the mind is always comparing, it becomes ashamed. When the mind is always complaining, it becomes bitter. Gratitude widens the mind. It returns you to reality. It softens the body. It reduces the second arrow. A simple practice is to name 3 blessings each day: breath, water, a meal, a safe place to sleep, a person who cares, a chance to learn, a moment of sunlight. Then choose one small action from gratitude: a thank you message, a small help, a kind word. This is gratitude becoming karma. It changes the direction of the day, and repeated days become a new life. Now let us speak about the virtue of truth, because truth is the backbone of destiny. Many people fear truth. They fear confrontation. They fear losing approval. So they lie. They hide. They twist. But lies create a tangled life, a tangled mind, a tangled relationship, a tangled identity. Truth creates a clean life, but truth must be paired with kindness. Truth without kindness becomes cruelty. Kindness without truth becomes confusion. The Buddha taught right speech, truthful and kind, helpful and timely. So if you want to transform destiny, practice truthful kindness. Speak what is true with care. Speak what is needed without humiliation. Speak less when speech would harm. Listen more when the other person is hurting. This practice alone can transform a life, because many disasters begin with careless speech, and many healings begin with one honest sentence. Now let us bring in the teaching of impermanence, because it protects virtue from becoming attachment to outcomes. If you think virtue should guarantee a specific result, you will suffer when results differ. But impermanence teaches you to act wisely without demanding a reward. You plant wholesome causes, then you release the outcome, because outcomes depend on many conditions. This is a peaceful way to live. It removes anxiety. It removes bargaining. It removes disappointment. A person once said, "If everything changes, why be good?" The Buddha's answer is simple: because goodness is how you suffer less while things change. Goodness is how you create a mind that can meet change without collapsing. Goodness is how you make the world kinder while it turns. Impermanence makes virtue more precious, not less, because time is not guaranteed, so you use time well. You speak kindly now. You forgive now. You apologize now. You help now. This is a virtuous life. Now let us speak about the virtue of effort, because many people misunderstand effort as forcing. The Buddha taught right effort, not too tight, not too loose, like tuning a string. Right effort means you keep returning. You fall into an old habit, and you begin again. You forget mindfulness, and you begin again. You speak harshly, and you repair and begin again. You get lost in craving, and you begin again. Beginning again is the path, not a failure. This is how destiny changes, not through a single dramatic decision, but through steady repetition. The Buddha's path is built by returning again and again. Now let us add a longer guided meditation to cultivate virtue as a living presence. Sit comfortably. Let the body settle. Feel the ground supporting you. Bring attention to the breath. Breathing in. Know you are breathing in. Breathing out. Know you are breathing out. Now bring to mind the intention of harmlessness. May I not harm today. May I not harm with my hands. May I not harm with my words. May I not harm with my thoughts. Feel how the body responds to this intention. Often there is a softening. Now bring to mind one virtue you want to strengthen. Perhaps patience, perhaps truth, perhaps generosity, perhaps courage, perhaps humility. Say inside, I will water this seed today. Now imagine one situation that usually triggers you. A message, a person, a memory, a pressure. See yourself pausing for one breath before reacting. See yourself speaking a cleaner sentence. See yourself choosing the wholesome step. You are planting a seed right now. This is mental karma. This is training. Return to the breath again. Breathing in, I return. Breathing out, I soften. Rest here for a few moments. This is virtue becoming embodied. Now let us include walking meditation, because walking meditation teaches you destiny in each step. When you walk, feel the lifting of the foot, the moving, the placing down. One step, then another. A step appears and disappears. You cannot keep a step. You can only take it. This is impermanence, and this is freedom. If you are anxious about fate, walk. Feel the earth. Let the body cool. Let the mind return to what is real. A mind that returns to the body becomes practical again. It stops chasing fantasies. It stops drowning in fear. It becomes ready to plant wholesome causes. Walking meditation is a simple medicine. Use it often. Now let us talk about service, because service is where virtue becomes bright. Some people want to change destiny with private practice only. But the Buddha taught compassion in action. He taught generosity. He taught care for the sick. He taught respect for beings. When you serve, the ego softens. When the ego softens, suffering decreases. Because much suffering is the tight self trying to protect an image. Service does not need to be big. A meal, a message, a ride, a donation, a patient listening ear, a small act of honesty, a small act of protection for someone vulnerable. These acts create a field around you, a field of trust, a field of warmth, a field of meaning. Meaning is a deep form of happiness, and he did not pretend the storm was not there. He adjusted the sail. He balanced the weight. He directed the boat towards safer water. He did what was possible, and he did it without panic. Later, when they reached the shore, someone asked him, "Were you not afraid?" He said, "Fear may arise, but panic is optional. I focus on the next useful action." This is virtue in a storm. Virtue is not a guarantee that storms will not come. Virtue is the training that helps you steer when they do. It is the ability to stay with the breath, to not be dragged by every thought, to not be possessed by every emotion. Wisdom is clear seeing impermanence, seeing cause and effect, seeing how clinging creates suffering, seeing non-self, the truth that you are not a fixed identity. When these three work together, destiny changes deeply, because you are no longer living from impulses. You are living from awareness, and awareness is freedom. Many people want wisdom without virtue. They want insight, but keep harming with speech. This creates confusion. Many people want meditation without virtue. They want calm, but keep lying and gossiping. This creates restlessness. Many people want virtue without wisdom. They do good, but cling to results and become disappointed. So the Buddha taught balance, virtue, concentration, wisdom. This is the road where virtue truly overcomes fate. Now this is liberating, because it means you can learn, you can repair, you can begin again. When you fall into an unwholesome act, you do not say, "This is who I am." You say, "This is what happened. I will learn. I will repair. I will practice again." When you do a wholesome act, you do not say, "I am superior." You say, "This is a wholesome condition arising. May it continue. May it benefit others. May I stay humble." Non-self makes virtue clean. Clean virtue is powerful. The teacher said, "Then you are not only a thief, you are a mind that can choose." This simple lesson changed him. He began to notice moments of choice. One choice led to another. Over time, his habits changed. The lesson is this: you are not locked into one identity. Virtue begins as a small hesitation before harm. Then it grows, and that growth changes destiny. Now let us speak about equanimity, because equanimity is the mature fruit of virtue. Equanimity is not coldness, it is balance. Gain comes, you do not become arrogant. Loss comes, you do not become hopeless. Praise comes, you do not become addicted. Blame comes, you do not become consumed. Pleasure comes, you enjoy without clinging. Pain comes, you meet without collapse. The Buddha taught that the winds will blow. So the practice is not to control the winds. The practice is to become steady. Virtue supports equanimity because a clean mind is less shaken. A mind without guilt is less defensive. A mind without cruelty is less afraid. A mind without lies is less tangled. So when you practice virtue, you are not only becoming good, you are becoming unshaken. And an unshaken mind is the greatest protection against fate. Now let us talk about temptation, because fate often changes in small moments of temptation. A small temptation to lie to avoid discomfort. A small temptation to take what is not yours. A small temptation to use harsh speech. A small temptation to betray trust. A small temptation to numb yourself and become careless. Many people think destiny changes only through big choices, but big choices are made of small moments. So train in small moments. When temptation arises, pause. Take one breath. Ask, what will this create in my mind? Will it create peace or regret? Will it strengthen generosity or greed? Will it strengthen kindness or hatred? Will it strengthen clarity or confusion? Then choose the wholesome step. Even if no one sees, your mind sees. And the mind is the place where destiny is formed. This is why virtue is powerful. It protects you in moments where the world is not watching. Now let us talk about the practice of nightly reflection, because this is a simple tool to grow virtue steadily. Before sleep, ask 3 questions. What wholesome action did I do today? Even small. A kind word, a patient pause, an honest sentence, a helpful act. What unwholesome action did I do today? Even small. A harsh tone, a lie, a gossip, a selfish choice. What is one small improvement tomorrow? This reflection is not for self-punishment. It is for clarity. Clarity is wisdom. Wisdom guides virtue. Virtue creates peace. If you do this daily, your life becomes a path. And a life that is a path is no longer trapped in fate. It is moving. It is growing. Now let us add a practice for mornings, because mornings set the tone of karma. Before the phone, take 3 breaths. Feel the body. Feel the ground. Then set one intention. May I reduce suffering today. May I speak kindly today. May I act honestly today. May I not feed the second arrow today. This intention is a seed. It may not control the whole day, but it changes the starting direction, and repeated directions become a life. This is how virtue becomes destiny. There is a story about a man who asked the Buddha for protection from misfortune. He asked for lucky days. He asked for favorable signs. He asked for a ritual to avoid bad fate. The Buddha did not insult him. He pointed him to a different protection. A clean mind, a clean mouth, a clean life. He taught that the best protection is not a special date. It is a mind trained in harmlessness. Because a harmless person creates fewer enemies. A truthful person creates fewer traps. A mindful person creates fewer accidents of speech and action. A generous person creates connection and support. This is what virtue overcomes. It overcomes the misfortune created by your own untrained habits. And it gives you a refuge, even when external conditions are uncertain. This is the Buddha's protection, not superstition. Training. Now let us speak about the virtue of courage, because courage is needed to live rightly. Sometimes being virtuous is inconvenient. It can cost you approval. It can cost you comfort. It can cost you quick rewards. But the Buddha taught that a clean conscience is worth more than comfort, because comfort without integrity becomes fear. You fear being exposed. You fear losing what you gained dishonestly. You fear karma as punishment because you know your own actions. A courageous person chooses the clean path. They tell the truth gently. They apologize. They admit mistakes. They stop a harmful habit. They leave a toxic environment. They protect someone vulnerable. They change a lifestyle that is destroying them. This courage is virtue in action. And courage changes destiny because it breaks patterns. The life that repeats harm becomes a new life that repeats healing. So do not underestimate courage. It is a doorway. If these teachings are helping you, you can share this talk from Buddha Peaceful Mind with someone who feels trapped by fate. Sometimes one gentle reminder is enough to reopen the heart. Now let us include one of the most powerful stories of transformation in the Buddha's tradition. because it shows that destiny is not fixed. A man named Angulimala was feared for violence. People believed he was beyond redemption. If anyone looked like a person condemned by fate, it was him. But the Buddha did not see a fixed monster. He saw a mind trapped in ignorance. He approached with calmness. Angulimala chased him, but could not catch him. Confused, he shouted, "Stop!" The Buddha replied, "I have stopped. You have not stopped." Those words entered him like a bell. He saw the madness of his life. He laid down his weapon. He chose a new path. He practiced with sincerity. Did consequences disappear? No. He still faced pain from his past actions. People still feared him. Some still attacked him. But his heart changed. He did not return to violence. He endured with patience. He repaired through practice. He became a different cause in the world. This is the meaning of virtue overcomes fate. The past may have momentum, but the present can plant new seeds. A new mind can be born. A new life can grow. So if you think you are too far gone, remember this story. No one is required to stay who they were yesterday. Now let us speak about the two arrows, because this teaching shows how virtue changes the experience of fate. The first arrow is pain, a loss, a sickness, a rejection, a failure, a hardship you did not want. The second arrow is what the mind adds. Why me? This is unfair. I cannot stand this. I am worthless. I must control everything. I will never be okay. Virtue helps you stop the second arrow. A person trained in honesty does not add lying to escape pain. A person trained in patience does not add cruel speech to pain. A person trained in mindfulness does not add endless stories to pain. A person trained in compassion does not add self-hatred to pain. So the fate of suffering changes. Pain remains, but extra suffering decreases. This is freedom. Many people chase external fortune and still suffer because they keep shooting the second arrow. But a person with virtue may have fewer possessions and still have peace because they put the second arrow down. This is a profound victory. Now let us practice a short exercise for the two arrows. When something unpleasant happens today, pause. Take one breath. Say inside, first arrow, this is pain, this is life. Then ask, what is the second arrow trying to do? Is it trying to blame? Is it trying to attack? Is it trying to shame? Is it trying to panic? Then say inside, I will not shoot the second arrow. I will choose the wholesome step. This step might be a boundary. It might be rest. It might be asking for help. It might be a kind sentence. It might be silence. It might be acceptance. This small practice changes destiny because it changes habit. And habit is the engine of fate. Now let us include a longer loving-kindness practice, because loving-kindness is a virtue that transforms the entire field around you. Breathe gently. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I be free. Now bring to mind someone you love. Feel gratitude. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May you be free. Now bring to mind someone neutral, a stranger, a worker, a person you pass by. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May you be free. Now bring to mind someone difficult. Not someone who has done extreme harm, but someone who triggers irritation. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May you be free. If resistance arises, do not force. You are planting intention, and intention is karma. Loving kindness does not make you naive. It makes you clean. A clean heart acts more wisely. A clean heart creates less regret. A clean heart is harder to manipulate because it is not driven by hatred. This is the power of virtue. Now let us bring everything into a simple monthly plan, because transformation needs structure. For 1 month, choose one main virtue to strengthen. Perhaps truth, perhaps non-harming, perhaps patience, perhaps generosity, perhaps restraint from gossip, perhaps mindfulness before speaking. Each morning, remember your virtue. Each evening, reflect. Where did I practice it? Where did I fail? What did I learn? When you fail, do not collapse. Repair and begin again. When you succeed, do not become proud. Feel gratitude and continue. After 1 month, you will notice something. You are a slightly different person. Your mind is slightly steadier. Your relationships may be slightly safer. Your life may be slightly clearer. Small changes repeated become a new destiny. This is how the Buddha's path works. And remember a final, gentle truth about virtue. Virtue does not need the world to applaud. Virtue does not need perfect conditions. Virtue does not wait for a lucky day. Virtue is available in this breath, in this sentence, in this choice. You can choose not to harm in this moment. You can choose honesty in this moment. You can choose kindness in this moment. You can choose to begin again in this moment. This is why fate is not fixed. Because the present is alive, and the present is where you plant causes. Hold this quietly, then practice. Now let us speak about guarding the sense doors, because modern fate is often shaped by what you consume. Your eyes see endless images. Your ears hear endless noise. Your mind is pulled into endless opinions. This constant stimulation can weaken virtue. Because when the mind is exhausted, it becomes reactive. When the mind is reactive, speech becomes careless. When speech becomes careless, relationships break. When relationships break, life becomes heavy. The Buddha taught sense restraint, not as repression, but as wisdom. Choose what you feed the mind. Choose times to be offline. Choose silence. Choose nature. Choose honest conversations. Choose teachings that make the heart cleaner. This is a powerful virtue in modern life, because attention is your life. What you repeatedly attend to becomes the shape of your mind. If you feed the mind outrage, it becomes angry. If you feed the mind comparison, it becomes ashamed. If you feed the mind fear, it becomes anxious. If you feed the mind kindness, it becomes gentle. If you feed the mind truth, it becomes clear. So if you want to change destiny, protect attention. A protected mind is a stronger mind. A stronger mind chooses virtue more easily. There is a small story about 2 buckets that can help you remember this. A person carried 2 buckets of water every day. 1 bucket was clean, 1 bucket was muddy. At first, the person thought, water is water, But the clean bucket nourished plants. The muddy bucket made plants sick. The mind is like that. Whatever you carry in each day becomes what you pour into your life. If you carry resentment, you pour bitterness. If you carry gossip, you pour distrust. If you carry fear, you pour anxiety. If you carry gratitude, you pour warmth. If you carry mindfulness, you pour clarity. If you carry compassion, you pour healing. So ask each morning, what bucket am I carrying today? Then choose the clean one. This is a small practice with a big result. Now let us speak about spiritual bypass, because even virtue can be misunderstood. Some people use virtue as a mask to avoid pain. They pretend they are fine. They smile while their heart is burning. They say, it is all karma, and they never set boundaries. They say everything is a lesson, and they never seek help. The Buddha taught honesty. He taught that pain is real. He taught that sickness deserves care. He taught that grief deserves tenderness. He taught that help is wisdom. So if you are struggling deeply, do not shame yourself. Seek support. Talk to someone you trust. Find a counselor or therapist if you can. See a doctor when the body needs care. Join a community of practice when the mind feels alone. Virtue includes wise support. Because a healthy mind can practice. A supported heart can learn. There is no shame in help. Help is part of the path. Now let us remember death in a gentle way, because remembering death makes virtue urgent and tender. The Buddha taught that life is uncertain, not to frighten you, but to awaken love. Because when you remember uncertainty, you stop postponing goodness. You stop saying, I will apologize later. You stop saying, I will visit later. You stop saying, I will be kind later. You stop saying, I will change later. Later is not guaranteed. So a simple reflection can strengthen virtue. If today were my last day, how would I speak? How would I treat people? What would I stop wasting time on? What would I forgive? What would I simplify? This reflection is not heavy. It is freeing. It returns you to what matters. There is a short story. A person held a grudge for many years. They waited for the perfect apology. They waited for life to prove them right. Then one day, they heard that the person they hated had died suddenly. The grudge did not taste sweet. It tasted empty. Because there was no more chance to speak, to repair, to soften. That day they realized something simple. Holding hatred is not strength. It is delay. It delays your own peace. So choose virtue now. Speak kindly now. Forgive a little now. Set boundaries without hatred now. Offer gratitude now. This is how you transform destiny. Because the most precious destiny is a heart that becomes lighter while there is still time. Here is a final 1-minute practice to carry into daily life, especially when you feel fate closing in. Stop. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Then name 3 things. 1 truth. Everything is conditioned and changing, so this moment can change too. 1 intention. May I choose the wholesome step. 1 action. What is one small virtuous thing I can do right now? A kind word, an honest message, a quiet apology, a helpful act. A pause before reacting. A cup of water for the body. A short walk to cool the mind. Then do it. This is not dramatic, but it is powerful. Because fate is often changed by small steps taken at the right time. Small steps prevent big regrets. Small steps build a new habit. A new habit builds a new life. So when you feel trapped, do not search the sky. Return to breath. Return to virtue. Return to the next wholesome step. This is how you become your own refuge. And remember, virtue is not something you wait to feel inspired to do. Virtue is a decision you make before the moment tests you. It is like building a bridge before the flood arrives. If you train honesty on calm days, you can be honest on hard days. If you train patience on small irritations, you can be patient in big storms. If you train generosity in small ways, you can be generous when someone truly needs you. If you train mindfulness for a few minutes daily, you can remember breath when fear rises. Training prepares the mind. Prepared minds suffer less. Prepared minds choose wisely. And wise choices are the true architects of destiny. As we come toward the end, remember the heart of this teaching. There is no fixed fate that owns you. There are causes and conditions. There is momentum from the past, and there is choice in the present. Virtue is not a transaction. Virtue is a cause. A cause that purifies the mind. A cause that builds trust. A cause that reduces regret. A cause that strengthens wisdom. A cause that widens compassion. When virtue grows, fear shrinks. When virtue grows, pride shrinks. When virtue grows, the mind becomes steadier. And a steady mind walks through changing conditions with dignity. So do not ask only, can my life change? Ask, what virtue will I practice today? Because the future is built from today. And the most reliable way to transform destiny is to transform the heart. Thank you for spending this time with Buddha Peaceful Mind. May your mind be clear. May your heart be kind. May your steps be steady. And may you discover, through daily virtue, the quiet power to walk beyond fear.